Ariana stood at the crossroads of her life, both literally and figuratively, as she gazed at the skyline of the city from the small park bench, where she often found herself deep in thought. Today, the question that had been weighing heavily on her mind resurfaced with renewed intensity. Should she pursue a career she loved, despite its uncertainty and modest pay? Or should she choose a path that promised financial security, but left her heart uninspired? Ariana had always been passionate about art. Ever since she was a child, colors and shapes spoke to her in a language only she could understand. Her room had been her canvas, her sanctuary, where she poured her dreams and emotions into every stroke of her brush. But the world beyond her room was different. It demanded practicality, security, and assurance, things that an artist's life rarely provided. On the other hand, there was a lucrative offer waiting for her in the corporate world. It was a job that promised stability, a good salary, and the respect that came with a prestigious title. Yet, whenever Ariana imagined herself in that role, she felt a dull ache in her chest, as if a piece of her soul was being slowly chipped away. She pondered these choices, her mind a whirlwind of possibilities and fears. The rain began to fall again, softly at first, then with a steadier rhythm, mirroring her turbulent thoughts. The sound of the raindrops was like a gentle reminder of the constant flow of time. A ticking clock urging her to make a decision. Ariana closed her eyes, listening to the rain, and let her mind wander. She envisioned herself years down the line. In one scenario, she was in a spacious office, her nameplate gleaming on a mahogany desk, her bank account healthy, and her future secure. But her eyes in this vision were tired, her spirit dulled by the monotony of a life lived for others' expectations. In another vision, she saw herself in a modest studio, surrounded by canvases and paints. Her clothes were speckled with color, her hands rough from work, but her eyes were alive with a spark that came from doing what she loved. She could see the struggle and the uncertainty, but also the fulfillment and joy that came from living her truth. Ariana opened her eyes, the rain now a steady downpour. She felt a mix of emotions: fear of the unknown, the pressure of societal expectations, and a deep yearning to follow her heart. It was a battle between the mind and the soul, between security and passion. She thought of her parents, who had always emphasized the importance of a stable career. Their words echoed in her mind, filling her with doubt. But then she remembered her grandfather, an old musician who had lived a simple yet deeply content life. He used to tell her stories of his adventures, of how he never regretted a single moment spent pursuing his passion, despite the hardships. As the rain fell, Ariana felt a sense of clarity washing over her. She realized that no path was without its struggles, and no decision came with a guarantee of happiness. The choice she faced was not just about a job. It was about how she wanted to live her life. She knew that either path would require sacrifice, but the question was which sacrifices she was willing to make. She stood up from the bench, feeling a strange clarity amidst the storm. She didn't have all the answers, but she understood that the most important thing was to stay true to herself. She decided to take a leap of faith, to trust that following her passion would lead her to where she needed to be. Even if the road was rough and uncertain, Ariana walked away from the park, the rain now a gentle drizzle. She felt lighter, as if a great burden had been lifted from her shoulders. She didn't know what the future held, but she was ready to embrace it with open arms, with all its challenges and rewards. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. Proverbs 16, verse 3.